Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna go over all the weapons currently available in the game and how you can use them effectively, whether you're playing PvE or PvP. At the end of the day, the choice is always yours. Right now, there are several different build types that work extremely well. You have builds focused on raw damage, bleed, healing, and of course tank builds, which personally is my favorite playstyle. Everything really starts with your weapon choice. In my case, I prefer playing as a tank, so my go-to weapons are the Thundercry and the Stormbreaker. That said, this is far from the only viable option. The game offers a lot of strong weapon combinations even early on. A great example of this is the Strategic Sword, which pairs extremely well with the Heaven Quick Spear. These two weapons have strong natural synergy, making it much easier to chain attacks, transition smoothly between abilities, and this applies to many weapons in the game. Most of them perform best when used together in a smart combination. When you first start the game, you begin with two iconical weapons, which is the Nameless Sword and the Nameless Spear. Many players underestimate these because they're starter weapons, but that's a mistake. They're extremely effective in both PvE and PvP, and they remain relative even in later on in the game. Let us get to it. When we go to our development page, we go to the improvement guide, and we click on the Martial Mastery. Give me a second. Buff guide. I do apologize. So let's start from the beginning. Moving on. We have the melee DPS combat build. For starters, we have the melee combat build, which is consistently used of the starter weapons. It's the Nameless Sword and the Nameless Spear, which is extremely used, especially on the PvE side of things. It's a really well-rounded weapon set and combo. It's a very used for the fact that it's fast, it does a bit of damage, and it does massive damage, massive burst damage as well. That is a great thing for, especially on the PvE side of things. On the PvP, you can easily spam your energy blast that your sword does with the charge attack. And it's a very good weapon, whatever it may be it in the beginning of the game, mid game, or late game. Now we're gonna move on to the melee combat, also the DPS type, which is the other sword and the other spear, which is the exactly strategic sword and the Heaven Quake spear. I do apologize. The Heaven Quake spear and the strategic sword are amazing, amazing weapons on the fact that they do massive damage, especially the strategic sword. It's one of very used and very iconic weapon. The strategic sword does bleed damage on the enemy, so the charged attacks, the abilities, literally every single thing does bleed damage, and it's massive. It's very used on the fact that the charge attack makes you teleport to the other side of the enemy, allowing you to reposition yourself as well. Now, moving on to my favorite style and favorite combo. It's simply the Thundercry Blade and the Stormbreaker Spear. These two are just a massive tank, a wall that just doesn't break. You have massive shields that your the Thundercry Blade does give it to you by its first ability, and the massive debuff that for damage buff for receiving damage that the Stormbreaker Spear gives to the enemy by causing it by their abilities. It's just a massive tank. You have massive shields, you does massive damage, and you debuff the enemy massively all the time. It's just amazing to play, for my choice at least. For me, I have more fun playing as a tank. Just massive, because I used to play Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter used to always play the Great Sword and the Hammer, so I'm very used to playing this type of style. Now, Moving on to the range DPS. This is an amazing style for people that just likes to be in far and doing damage. In other words, likes to be annoying to the other players, especially on PvP. This weapon, it consists of simply the Inkwell Fan and the Vernal Umbrella. These two just works perfectly with one another, and one consists of consistently using charge attack, especially on the Vernal Umbrella. By the charge, you can simply fly around as you do damage, as you see on the video right now. It's just an amazing weapon. Truly, just lots of fun. Every weapon in the game actually is fun. You just gotta find your own play style. Now moving on, melee combat. This is another one, the Bamboo Cut and Wind. It's an amazing and extremely fun type of gameplay as well. It feels as if you're playing the Devil May Cry. It's the Inferno Twin Blades and the Mortal Rope Dart. The Mortal Rope Dart, I have extremely a lot of fun playing it. The Inferno Twin Blades causes bleed. So, but here's the difference. The Strategic Sword focus on charge attack. The Inferno Twin Blades focus on simple normal attacks. So it does massive bleed damage, massive attacks, and extremely fast as well. And a heavy attack burst that turns you into a rage state that just makes you do more damage and attack faster as well. The Mortal Rope that makes a buff on yourself, and if you continue holding the charge attack, after a little while, it'll start healing you as well. Obviously not massive, but it does heal you as well. It's an amazing choice, especially for the beginning of the game, mid game, and late game too. All of them are viable. Do keep that in mind. And last but not least, the heal range combat. This one, if you have one of these and he or she is a good player with these two weapons, your team just will not die. Simply put, your team will just not die. Both weapons are healing. It consists of the Penacin Fan and the Soul Shade Umbrella. It's just impossible to die with this weapon. These two weapons and a good player holding it while on your team, it just makes everything much easier, every content easier by having one of these. Obviously, these are the path's recommendations. It does not mean that it's the only path you should take. For my case, I am right now playing as a tank, but when I started the game, I actually started simply using the Strategic Sword, which I resetted after a while. Strategic Sword and the simplest Penacin Fan is just amazing. You do massive damage with the Strategic Sword, doing dot damage consistently, doing damage, doing bleed, and afterwards you simply just throw a Penacin Fan for heals if necessary. Obviously, you can connect every single weapon here if you like. If you want to play as the Mortal Rope Dart as your main weapon, go for it. This game allows you to just combine whatever you want as well if you like. Just have fun with the game. This is what it truly means. Just have fun. It's a game. If you're not having fun, you're not playing it right. But that's it for today. Today is simply just showing you the weapons. The next video will be out shortly as well. Stay tuned for that. There will be far more guides on this game, and there is much to it. Stay tuned. Have a good day, a good afternoon, and especially a good night.